everyone, and welcome to Flosstube episode 14. I'm finally getting around to filming. It's been about 2 months since I last recorded. There have been two big reasons for that. The first being that I got married at the weekend. It finally happened. We finally got down the aisle. Super exciting, and that was taking up a lot of my time. And second being, the longer I left it, the longer I knew the video was going to be, and therefore the editing process was going to be, and the uploading process, and the more I didn't want to do it, the longer it became. So I'm finally getting around to it. Sat down, I'm comfortable, I have a nice drink, and this is a reusable straw, just so that nobody thinks that I'm, killing the environment. So I'm finally ready to film, and I'm all set up, I'm comfy, I've got everything that I need, I think. If not, I'll have to pause whilst I go and grab stuff. Today is the 6th, is it the 6th today? It's the 6th of May today, 6th of May 2021, and boy is the year going fast now. Like, before we know what to do, it'll be summer, and then back to school, and then Christmas, and it'll be a whole new year. Like, it's going so fast. The first part of the year dragged. In fact, January always drags. It feels like that month has like 700 days and it's never going to end. But like literally since we hit February, we've just been like whoosh, like unbelievable. So here we are on the 6th of May. And yeah, life update. Like I said, we managed to tie the knot on Saturday, the 1st of May. It was an unbelievable day. Like, so happy. And I have just thought of something that I will need to go and get later. But yeah, so happy with how the day went. I'll pop a little photo here that our photographer took, and his details will be down in the description box below in case anybody's looking for a photographer in the West Midlands area, or East Midlands in fact, because we met him at a wedding fair in Nottingham like 2 years ago. Like, it was a long time ago. But we finally got married, and the day was beautiful. There are a lot of restrictions still in place here in the UK, so we could only have 15 people at the ceremony, and then we did a virtual reception on Zoom from our sofa, which was super fun. In fact, both of those things are available to view online, so I'm going to pop the links down in the description below as well, so that you can go and check those out if you're bored and have nothing better to do. And you can see the really funny moment from the beginning of the wedding, where just as I reached the altar, my garter fell down. Like, I felt something hit my foot, like just as I took that last step, and went, no. And then there was a pause before the officiant started talking, and I looked down, and you can audibly hear me swear in church, and like, I'm so sorry. I do try and mind, like, language, I'm all for expressing yourself and using whatever language you want, and I do swear on a regular basis, but I've never sworn that badly in church before. But I was just like, of course this has happened to me. And then, to make matters worse, my sister, who was sat in the front row, came running up, bent over at the waist in front of the camera, like we're live to the internet, and she's bending over in front of the camera. But she tried to push it back up my leg, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like, take it off. So if you want to laugh, you can go over and watch that on the Facebook Live. Again, I'll put the link below. And then the virtual reception was so much fun. We went for a walk around Birmingham's botanical gardens after the ceremony when everyone went home, and it was really nice to have that time, just us and the photographer, and just soak it all in. We had the best day that we could have had in the circumstances. It obviously wasn't what we initially planned when we got engaged, but it was still like the most amazing day, and I felt so loved, like not just by Michael, kind of a given on your wedding day that you feel loved by the person that you're marrying, but I mean by all of our friends and all of our family and all of the wonderful well wishes that we got. Excuse me, don't worry, it's not COVID, I did a test yesterday. Yeah, it was just so special, and we're married now. I'm Mrs. Pritchard. Yay! So I can stop talking about it, which will make a lot of people really relieved. I know that everyone at work and at my book club are sick of hearing about this wedding because it has been a saga. Planning it and COVID and all of the rest of it has just made it a total saga. For anyone new here, I was supposed to get married last April. Yeah, so it's been 13 months since our original date and we finally managed to get married. So yeah, there were lots of like crafty things, but I don't think I'm going to go into detail about that on here. If you want details, please ask me. But yeah, this is not a channel about weddings, this is a channel about cross-stitch. That's what you're all here for. So let's get on to that before we hit 6 minutes, shall we? So, my first thing to show you is a BFF, which I learned from Pam and Steph. Does not mean best friends forever, it means back from the framer, and I have something to show you in that regard. I've never had anything professionally framed before. Like, I've never had something that I was that proud of, that I wanted to fork out for framing. But I showed this in my very first ever Flosstube back in July of last year, and this is my Cities piece. So this was from an issue of Cross Stitch Crazy. I can't tell you the year or the issue number, I have absolutely no idea. But it was designed by, and I'm just looking at my notes, Maria Diaz. And as you can see, it's 4 capital cities, and we've had the privilege of visiting all 4. So you've got London, Paris, New York, and Rome. I didn't stitch them in that order, but that's the order that we visited them in. And I put the date of the first time that me and my husband visited them for the first time. So you can see this is April 2017, just after we met. May 2017 for my 29th birthday. August 2017, that was my first trip to the States, and then Rome in May of 2018 for my 30th birthday. So yeah, so this now hangs in our living room and I'm super proud of it. It's my first ever professionally framed piece. I got it done at a local needle workshop called Betty's Stitch Kit in Quarry Bank, and yeah, they were super helpful because obviously we were in lockdown when I had dropped this off, so not lockdown, but you weren't allowed in the shop, so I dropped it on the doorstep. It was the day that I picked up the fabric for my Alice SAL, so I dropped it on the doorstep, and then they sent me a bunch of framing options, because we had discussed it in shop like several months ago, but I just didn't have the money right then, so yeah, so I dropped it off in the shop, and they sent me a bunch of photo options for white frames and white maps, and which one did I want. And I got the museum glass, the anti-reflecting glass, so you can see how that's not reflecting back off the light from the computer or anything. It's super clear. And so this hangs in our living room now, next to the clock, and it's great to sort of look over and see the fruits of my labour, because that was an on and off piece for over a year before it was finally finished. When I finished it, it meant so much to finish it, and to get it framed professionally was really awesome as well. So new starts, let's go on to that. The only thing I've got to show you that's a new start and isn't finished is the Alice SAL. So this was featured in Cross Stitch magazine last year, and it was a brilliant SAL, and I didn't find out about it until it was too late. I bought all the parts of the SAL on eBay, got it delivered, ordered the fabric and the floss, and now I'm getting going. So this will be what it will look like when it's finished. So it's 12 blocks, 1 for each month, and then the border, there's lots of beads on there, and yeah, so it's awesome. And I've only made a small start, but here is what I've got so far. It is held away from my face with pegs. I think I'm going to put it on a hoop. I haven't liked stitching on a hoop very much recently, and I thought maybe I could stitch this in hand, but there's just too much fabric to stitch in hand, so I'm going to transfer it to a hoop later today. There is a needle currently in it because I have made a boo-boo already, so you can see I've just done sort of 3 sides of the border of the Mad Hatter. So I started in the middle, so I counted up 5 stitches, did underneath the Mad Hatter, and I've done three sides of the square, but I'm going to have to undo this row, because where my needle is, I'm just trying to show you, yeah, where my needle is in the fabric, I've made a boo-boo. I'm stitching 2/2, and I counted one place too many, so it doesn't line up, and it won't line up, and I've got to go back and undo that row so that it does line up. It's my first time stitching on linen, and I am liking it, but there are always going to be little teething problems, aren't there? So I have made a boo-boo. I am going to go back and fix it later today. Michael is going out to a pub quiz, an outdoor pub quiz, I should clarify, because we are still in lockdown for another few weeks. So so he's off to a pub quiz tonight, and I get the place to myself so I can watch lots of Flosstube and pig out and just stitch my little heart out. Yeah, so that is my new start. That brings me to finishes. So I'm going to pop a little picture up here. I'm going to open the picture on my phone whilst I talk about it. I stitched this. I showed you, I think, this in progress last time. This was a Smart Cookie, and it was designed from Daily Cross Stitch, which is dailycrossstitch.com. It's a subscription site. Every day they send 2 patterns. One is free for that 24 hours only, and the second one is for subscribers. So I paid for the yearly membership, so for a year they'll send me 2 patterns. The one that is free for the 24 hours, but I can access it whenever, and a second one which is members only. So this was, I can't remember whether it was one or the other, but it was, I was looking for a congratulations card for my nephew, who got into his first choice grammar school. Now it is a multi-ability school, but they do make you take an entrance test, and then they go off your school reports as well. So basically they want to make sure that everyone who gets a place is really going to benefit from it, because they've got the drive and the motivation to really get the most out of the level of education that they offer, regardless of ability. So he got his place and he was super excited. So I stitched him this card, and I think the glasses and the writing were in a different colour in the design. I stitched them in blue because he, like me, is a Ravenclaw. It's a Harry Potter reference, just in case anyone's been living under a rock for the last 15 years. But yeah, so he's a Ravenclaw like me, so I did the glasses and the writing in blue, and I was really happy with how it looked, actually, and I know he really appreciated the effort when he received it. He gave us a phone call and we got to chat with him. It's important that we celebrate these like big milestones, especially during COVID, because like he spent so little time, like lots of children, he spent so little time in actual school the last year. Like, it's big deal to be getting into the secondary school that you wanted to get into. So yeah, that was one of my finishes. My next 2 finishes are from the same series. So if you've seen me before, I mean, if you're new, hello, I'm glad to have you here. If you have seen me before, you know that I've been stitching the Lizzie Kate Flip It stamps. So this was April's. So none of this is called for. None of the colours were called for. They were just from stash. I just pulled colours that I thought were pretty, including this beautiful Variegations, which the DMC Variegated Floss has a name, Colour Variations. There we go. So yeah, and I thought it was really, those colours were particularly well suited to spring. So yeah, this stitched up really quickly. Like the stamps are quick anyway, but like I think this only took me like 3 or 4 stitching sessions. Like I was really happy with it. I backed it onto this purple craft paper and then stuck it into my notebook, scrapbook type deal that goes on an easel above my desk. And I was really happy with it. And then I also did, because it's been 2 months since I last recorded, May. And May is here. So you can see, again, none of the called for threads. In fact, she calls for all the fancy flosses, which, no. So this was done on a mystery piece of pink 14 count aida. I got in like a grab bag type situation. And yeah, I just pulled colours that I thought would look really great. added the buttons, and then stuck it down on some craft paper again. And this has been above my desk for the last 6 days. Well, no, I tell a lie. The last 5 days, because I did not put it up on the first. Like, I was a little busy. So on Sunday, when I came in here to grab something, then I turned the page. So yeah, so those are my finishes for the last 2 months. I have worked on an awful lot, which you'll see when I get to whips. But yeah, those were the things that I those 3 things I wanted to get done. So that does bring us to whips. So I'm going to show you Marvel first. So the last time you saw Marvel, I'm going to put a picture up here. I think this is where it was when you last saw it. So for anyone who is new, this is Marvel Wreath by Mandarinks Designs on Etsy. This is the finished piece. This is going to be a present for my brother. It was originally a present for his birthday last year, then I downloaded the chart and found out that it had 20,000 stitches, not including the back stitch. Yeah, that wasn't ready on time. So I'm hoping it'll be done for this birthday, but probably going to be next birthday, if I'm honest, now looking at it and knowing how many other whips I've got on the go. Yeah. So this is where it is at now. So I focused mainly on Doctor Strange's cape, and I've really had some, like, success with it. Like, I've gotten, like, I had to undo a little bit, but now that I've, oh, my screen, sorry, has gone to sleep, but it hasn't stopped recording, so, yeah. So I did have to undo some, there was some purple here that I made a boo-boo, so I had to undo that, and I'm going to have to go and redo it the next time I pick this up. But I'm super happy with the progress that I made. Like, getting that cape done, there was a lot of colour changes in this whole chart, to be honest, and there's a lot of half stitches, and there's a lot of blends, but actually looking at it, completely worth it. And I just can't wait to do the back stitch and see it come alive, but I'm leaving that till the end, so I don't want it to get loose and have to redo anything. So it is coming along really well. I'm super happy with it. It probably, if I'm being honest, May is not going to see light this month, but I'm really super happy with it. I'm really excited to come back to it probably in June. I probably will try and get Iron Man completed in June. So yeah, so that's that. My other whip that got a lot of love is over here. So this you have seen before. It's from an issue of Cross Stitcher, April 2013's Cross Stitcher, and it is the Gruffalo. Now, I started this a very long time ago. I think I talked about this in my last video. I started this in 2013 with every intention of putting up in my classroom because I'm a qualified teacher. I now don't teach anymore, so I don't have a classroom for it to go in, but I do know a little girl who loves the Gruffalo, so I'm hoping this will be a present for her, maybe at Christmas. So I've gotten lots of that sky filled in. Maybe it doesn't look like it much to you guys. I've done some work on the grey on the tree, and then I've gotten lots of that sky filled in. That sky is an absolute pain in the you-know-what. There's just such a big block of colour, and it's just... I'm just bored of it already. But I really knuckled down, and I got lots of fill-in on that colour done. So I'm really starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel when I will be done with the blue. Yeah, so lots, like, sort of this area here, this was all filled in very recently. It's quite nice that it's quite big blocks of colour. This was the first piece I ever did on even weave, and sort of made me fall in love with working on even weave, really. It's definitely my preferred fabric as of yet. It's definitely a lot softer and nice to work with than Aida, and because it's even, I think I'm going to prefer it to linen. I'm doing the Alice SAL on linen. It's my first piece on linen, and yes, I've already made a boo-boo. Maybe I'll end up loving it, who knows, but at the moment, ugh. The fact that I've got to rip stitches out really is just not fun for me. But yeah, so that is the last of my whips, because obviously I have there's 3 finishers, 3 smalls, and then 2 of my medium-sized whips. I counted the other day, I have 5 medium-sized whips and 1 bap, which really needs some love. I haven't gotten it out and stitched on it in such a long time, so I'm going to have to come back to that in June as well. I'm going to make it a priority, that's the word I'm looking for, in June. So that brings us nicely to haul. Now, because it's been 2 months, there has been quite a lot of haul. So I'm going to go through this not in the order that I bought it, but just in the order of what's in front of me on the table right now. I'm going to have to come down in my notes. So the first thing I got was this super cute needle minder. I bought this on Facebook. There's a lady in one of my groups. I think it's the Disney Cross Stitch Collection group, because I subscribed to that magazine. So there's a lady on there and she was like, I have all these Disney needle minders, let me know if you want one. And I chose this because, as we all know, Thumper is my spirit animal. He is adorable. I have a Thumper charm on my charm bracelet. Just there. You can see him. So, of course, the minute I saw this, I was like, yes, I need it. And it is just a metal pin that's been turned into a needle minder. You can actually see on the back where the stud used to be for the pin. She's covered that quite nicely. Like, I wish I knew how she had gotten rid of that, because I've got some pins that I'd love to turn into needle minders, but I don't know how to get rid of those pins. If anybody knows and has a link that's handy, please do send it to me, because I've got lots of really great pins that I got on all my travels, and I'd love to turn them into needle minders. She has just glued, like, there's a lot of glue, a magnet onto the back, and then, yeah, so he is super cute and will be going on my Disney Afghan when I start it, because that's what I'm doing with the charts from the Disney Cross Stitch collection. I'm going to turn them into a baby Afghan. I have the Afghan, I have some of the threads, and I'm going to start fairly soon. We'll see. Like, it's in the plans, but I've not started. My other needle minder purchase was from Denkai Designs. Denkai Designs? I don't know. I can't pronounce it. I'm going to show the card here, but the link to her Etsy shop will be in the description box too. This is the business card that came with it. I've eyeballed this needle minder for quite some time, and I finally bit the bullet and bought it. So this is the Ravenclaw crest from Harry Potter. It says Ravenclaw across the bottom, you can see. It's awesome. It sits on my magnetic notice board at the moment, but there will be a Harry Potter project in my future which requires this needle minder. In fact, after I'm done stitching the Marvel wreath, there's a Harry Potter one that I kind of want to do for my sister. So it's like ready and waiting, attached to my notice board. I'll sort that later. Oh, she also threw in this really cute, fun freebie, which is always appreciated because I wasn't expecting it. So it's nice when you get unexpected extras. So yeah, super cute little cupcake. Who doesn't like cake, right? Oh my god, our wedding cake. I'm going to insert a picture here. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about weddings too much. I'm going to insert a picture here of our wedding cake because holy shirtballs, it was incredible. Like, we showed my mother-in-law a picture like 2 years ago of what we wanted, and she just knocked it out of the park. It was amazing. Everybody commented on it, even though they couldn't see it brilliantly on the Zoom because we were just one tiny square in the top corner. It was still, yeah, something really special. It was exactly what we pictured. A little bit smaller because obviously it was just for the 2 of us, so there was no need for the 3 tiers that we had planned. We just had the 2. But it was still, yeah, pretty incredible. We were really pleased with it. Moving on. Disney magazines. So, I am going to pop some pictures up of the charts that I'm definitely going to do. So I went through this morning and put them into the folder, and I took pictures of the charts that, yeah, are definitely getting done. So there is this one. which are like these little retro Mickey Mouses, which are super cute. And there's like one from Steamboat Willie, and there's like one from like I think it's like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse from like the 90s, which is really awesome. So I will probably stitch these at some point. I don't know when, but I really, really loved looking at those. There's this Wreck-It Ralph border, which is just so awesome. So I kind of want to do that too. And then there's this Alice design, which is so clever. If you can see in the picture, there's a clock in there, like it's a clock. Like the little white, yeah, the white rabbit. He's holding a clock, and you know, because I'm late. Yeah, so that's really cool. And coming up, so this isn't an actual design that I've got yet because it's coming in the next delivery. But look at this Wish Upon a Star Jiminy Cricket piece that's coming up soon. That is just adorable. So that may have to go onto the wait list also. Wonderful. So, next, Alice bags. So I have sent my fabric off to a lovely lady in the UK. Her name escapes me right now, but her shop name is Peanut and Bean Designs. So you can find her on Etsy at Peanut and Bean Designs. She sent me this lovely little thank you card, and I sent her my Alice fabric, and you guys, look how cute it looks. This is the Mini Notions bag, so it has my scissors in there with my fob from Kerry and Stitches. And she quilted the inside fabric, so I sent her this blue. This blue is almost an exact match with, I mean, it doesn't look that close because it's behind fabric, but if you open it up and sort of compare it to the Alice's dress, it's almost an exact match. And she's quilted it, so it's actually really good. It's really sturdy, but it's not stiff. The other bags that I have are a little bit stiffer. They were made by somebody else. I'm really loving these aren't as stiff, but they've still got some structure to them. And then this is the big one. So I had hoped that it was going to be big enough for me to put my A4 laminated patterns inside. It's not quite big enough, but that's fine because when I take the patterns away with me, I'll be photocopying in black and white, and then using them to mark off what I've done. So they can be folded and put in here. I'm not going to be precious about photocopies. So yeah, again, the inside is quilted. You can't really tell. Sorry about the light, guys. I've had to put my light on in the office and pull my curtain down because it was washing me out completely. You wouldn't have seen anything. But yeah, that's quilted too. Really well made. Super impressed with them, and I will be ordering more bags from her in the future, especially now that I know that she's willing to let me send her fabric and turn those into awesome bags. And the fact that they match as well, like, who doesn't love a set, really? So Alice lives in there with all of her threads, because obviously, like, it's a lot of threads, you guys. Like, seriously, that is a lot of Anchor and DMC, and it's going to take a while. But I'm super happy that came. I was really excited when it showed up. You should have seen me. I was like dancing around the room. So the last thing, oh no, two more things to go. But the thing I'm going to talk about now is I saw this on Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube. Kimberly has one, and I didn't really think that I needed a lamp, to be perfectly honest, or a magnifier. Like, my eyesight is fine. Well, it's not, but I have glasses and they're fine. And yeah, so I didn't really think I needed a lamp, but my corner of the couch in the living room is quite dark. There's a lamp on Michael's side of the couch, but there's none on mine, and the light is quite far away from me, so I was struggling to see. So I thought, well, I'll get a little table lamp and it'll be fine. And then I saw Kimberly use this one, and I thought, let's have a look. Now, it was cheaper on Amazon than through the actual company that makes it, which is slightly insane. So we bought it from Amazon. It came the next day. And here it is. So this is the Halo Go. It's great. It charges via USB, so you plug it in and it charges, and then the lamp can last up to 8 hours, I think, on the lowest setting, because it has 2 settings. So I'm going to turn it this way so it doesn't blind you. But you've got the super bright, a little bit lower, and then off. And the lights here show you how much battery is left. So when you turn it on, oh, you can't see there. See, it shows you how much. So when you've used it for a while, it becomes 2 lights and then 1 light, and then you know it's dead and it's charging. It also has this handy magnifier in the top here, and I never thought that I would need a magnifier. I don't know how I lived without one. I used it to stitch on Gruffalo and I used it to stitch on Alice, and it's incredible how much more clearly you can see. I mean, obviously I still made a mistake on the linen, but it does make it so much easier to see, and yeah, the light really helps, and yeah, I love it. Sorry, if you just saw me flinch, my screen turned off again. It obviously only lasts 15 minutes. I really need to go into the settings and change that. Oh, speaking of settings, sorry, I'm going off on tangents, I know. But speaking of settings, I know that, oh, sorry, my stomach's talking to me because I'm kind of hungry. Sorry if you heard that. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, no, that's completely gone. I was going to say something and I've forgotten. Never mind. It can't have been that important. So last bit of haul was I was window shopping on 123 Stitch, as you do when you're bored. And because it's an American company, I don't order from there very often. I ordered the Lizzie Kate stamps that I was missing last year. Because I had 6 and I needed the other 6 and I couldn't get them anywhere. So I went on to 123 Stitch and ordered them that way. But this came back, it's been reprinted. This has been out of print for quite some time, and Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch showed it. And oh my god, I wanted to do it so badly, but it's finally been reprinted. So this is Christmas ABC by Lizzie Kate. So I'm not going to take it out of the package, so there is a bit of shine on that, but yeah, it's all the Christmassy themed words with all the little motifs, which I love. Lizzie Kate's little motifs. I've got a Christmas pattern by her that I did last December, so yeah, super happy with that. And then I bought the first in a series. I am going to buy the rest of the series, but I wanted to check out the first one and see what it was like. And this is the Snapshot series by Pine Mountain Designs. They've stitched them on Fat Quarter Shop, and I love looking at them. Like, they're just, every time it comes up and she's got the current month sat behind her, and just like, that's so cute. And the pattern is really like clear and easy to read. The pattern is actually in black and white, but that doesn't bother me. It's got the DMC colours and symbols and everything in there. They tell you what fabric they stitched it on. I don't know if I'll be stitching on exactly the same thing. I mean, this is stitched on linen, petite point, and I think I'll probably do it on an even weave of some description. But we shall see, because I won't be stitching it until next year. I'm going to concentrate on getting those stamps finished this year. This may be my year-long series next year. So I'm going to buy the others towards the autumn. I'll probably get February through June, and then a little bit later in the year I'll probably do July till December. So I've got the whole set ready and waiting for 2022. Exciting times. So those are my last 2 bits of haul. I've showed you the lamp, I've shown you the charts. I really wish I could remember what I was going to say to you when I was going off on a tangent before, but I cannot remember for the life of me. Oh, I was talking about settings. Yes. If you viewed my last video, I am so sorry about the volume. I did not realise, obviously, only the last couple of videos, maybe the last 3, have been filmed using my new MacBook, and I'm still learning. And I did turn the volume up as high as I could towards the end, but because of the editing, I'd only turned the volume right up on that last section of the video. So I'm super sorry about that because it was apparently very quiet. I have now turned the microphone up to 100%, so hopefully you have all been able to hear me just fine this time round. If you are coming back after that, thank you very much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I know it's not always easy. Oh, I do still have one more piece of haul. 1 second. It's right behind me. So I popped into the works on last Thursday. And so we have a works in town, in Birmingham city centre, but it's quite a small one. The one in Halesowen, which is where I went last Thursday, is a little bit bigger and has a much better selection of craft stuff. So I found this lovely peg frame. So it's got a frame all the way around it on just like MDF or whatever it is called board, and then it's got 2 pegs which you're supposed to like stick memo pads and stuff to, but I think this might be perfect for displaying my little autumn moments and the rest of that series when I finish them. But autumn is finished, so I might paint this white so that it'll match all 4, and then put some felt pads on the underside of these pegs so I don't mark the stitching, and see if I can't get that displayed some point in the summer. But it was actually a really good deal. It says £4 here. It was 3. It came off at the checkout as £3. So yay for discounts. So yeah, that is now all of the haul. Now I have one more thing to show you. It's a little bit of Stitchy Kindness. So I haven't filmed it yet. I'm going to go and iron it and then film it and then insert it here. I'm back, guys. So my Stitchy Kindness is in the form of a piece that was done by one of my bridesmaids. Kat, if you're watching, I love you. So she's a stitcher, but she doesn't live close to me, so we don't get to talk about stitching all of that often. But she did this beautiful, it's Dimensions Gold Collection Petites Elegant Wedding Record. And here it is. So it's personalised. Oh, I'm going to put some paper behind it. That's no good. So I'll put some paper behind it. Here we go. That's better. So the light can't shine through it now. So you can see it's been done so well. She's obviously spent a lot of time making this. The stitching is really neat, and it's personalised. So it says R and M Pritchard, and then the date of our wedding, which is the 1st of the 5th, 2021. And yeah, it's really beautiful. I can't wait to frame it. We got some frames from a friend of Michael's family. So very soon I will be having a go at framing all by myself. Yeah, it's lovely to receive gifts, stitch gifts from Kat, because obviously she stitches, so it's nice. It's like knowing she knows that it'll be appreciated, because I know how much time goes into something like that. Obviously I've never stitched a Dimensions kit before, but I will be starting one soon. So yeah, I definitely understand the amount of care and time and effort that goes into that piece, and so I'm really looking forward to popping some photos in those frames, and then that one can go in the, I think it's the middle sized, I think it's a set of 3, and that one I think will fit perfectly in the middle one. So hopefully next time I'll be able to show you a FFO that I have framed myself. So back to my other video. Great. So plans. So I'm not doing Mania really. I had thought about it and just discounted the idea almost immediately. I can't be starting 21 new projects or any number of new projects really. I've got enough on. As I said, I've got 5 medium-sized whips on the go and 1 BAP, and that's enough for anybody. Plus I'm doing the stamps. Yeah, so I've started Alice. I started her on the 2nd. Like I said, I wanted to start her on the 1st, but a little bit busy. I was going to sit and do some on the couch, like after we finished the Zoom reception, and we ordered pizza. Oh my god, if you ever get a chance to answer the door to a Domino's delivery person in your wedding dress, take it. So much fun. Like, it really threw in. My dress does now have tomato sauce on it, however, so fair warning. So that's gonna have to be, it was gonna be dry cleaned anyway, but like, yeah, there's tomato sauce stain on it because this is me. So I started Alice on the 2nd, and on my birthday, I am gonna have a birthday start, and I'm finally gonna make a start on this, which my sister got me for Christmas. So this is Dimensions, the Gold Collection Petites, and this is Travel Memories. It is adorable, and just reminds me of our trip to Paris back in 2017, and I love butterflies, and I just thought that this chart was too cute to pass up. So I will be starting this on my birthday. We'll actually be on honeymoon on my birthday. Hotels, hospitality, and indoor dining opens up, if everything goes to plan, on the 17th of May. So on the 22nd, we are taking off. We're going down south. We're going to go visit Stonehenge and then just drive south and see where we end up. So probably like Cornwall and Devon and places like that. Yeah, Land's End. I think we're gonna drive down there. But on my birthday, hopefully there'll be a little bit of downtime and I can have a look at starting this. I'm super excited. Can you tell? Yeah, I'm also going to be doing the June stamp. That's all ready to go. All the colours are in a wallet in my work bag, because I'll be at the library again tomorrow, and I do like to do a little bit of stitching with my lunch. Like, I'll eat my lunch, watch from Flosstube, and then do a little bit of stitching before I go back to work. It's quite a nice little pause point in my day. It's really good for my mental health that I have those pause points, I like to call them, in my day where I don't do anything work related or like life admin related, and I can just sit and be calm and do a little bit of stitching, and it just makes my life so much easier. So yeah, those are my plans, and I will have inserted my Stitchy Kindness piece. So I believe that is everything. Guys, thanks for spending some time with me. I know there is so much choice out there on YouTube, so if you've stuck around and watched this video, thank you so much for all of your time. Do leave me a comment. I love reading them. They really make my day. Or follow me over on Instagram. My channel name may be changing in the next few weeks. Obviously, it's currently Rachel Dukes, but that's not my name anymore. I got married. So it will be changing to Rachel Pritchard at some point when I can figure out how to do that. So yeah, please do leave any questions or comments down below, and I will do my best to answer them. And I'll pop another couple of pictures from the wedding from my photographer at the end of the video. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Happy stitching. Bye. Hi again. Before I show you the photos, there was one last thing I wanted to show you. Not stitching related, so if you're only here for the stitching, see you soon. But if I don't have as much stitching as I think I will have to show you in my next video, sorry, I've just run downstairs and back up again, and now I'm like panting for breath. If I don't have as much stitching to show you as I hope I will, there is a good reason for that, and that is because my amazing husband brought me a wedding gift, which is going to be taking some of my time. I plan to start it this weekend. He was a little bit crazy. We had a conversation, I should explain this. We had a conversation a few weeks ago about things that we always wanted as children, but never got. And my list was a lot longer than his. We really struggled for money when I was growing up. My parents, lovely people, not great with money. And so, like, I never asked for anything that I knew was too expensive, like school trips away and stuff. Like, I never went abroad for school, that was not a thing. I didn't get on a plane until I was 29. But this was also on the list, and oh my goodness, when I opened it I squealed. My sister later told me that she thought I was crying, but she was too tired to get up because it was like 6:10 in the morning on the day of the wedding. And I opened it. He'd kept it in his wardrobe hidden from me for the last month. So I finally opened it and I squealed so loud. Here, is what he got me, guys. I know. It's like 4,000 pieces, but I absolutely love it. So I'll be starting this at the weekend. I can't wait, I'm so excited. I'm going to be taking over the dining room table and having so much fun building my Disney castle. So anyone who's been here for any length of time knows that I love Disney. My engagement ring is one of the licensed Disney collection ones. And yeah, it's a big part of who I am, big part of my childhood, big part of who I am as a person. So yeah, I'm gonna really look forward to making that. Now to the photos and to stitching.